health and sexuality. As sane women and men watched the events unfold, we were shocked and horrified. This kind of behavior was not part of our contraceptive narrative. That narrative said that the work of Margaret Sanger and generations of birth control pioneers had secured an impressive array of reproductive rights for American women, including a variety of contraceptives, family planning options, and access to safe and legal abortion. Although at the edges of our collective national consciousness, most of us knew there were attacks on health clinics, including the murder of doctors and healthcare workers, our narrative filed those events under the heading of aberrant behavior and didn't allow us to grasp the widespread, systematic rolling back of rights that protect women's reproductive health and freedom. We couldn't believe the intense shaming of women seeking legal abortion. We were shocked at the demonizing of women who demanded contraceptive coverage from the institutions where they worked or studied. Our narrative didn't allow those things to be happening all around us. So imagine my surprise a few weeks ago when I found myself watching the news with a growing sense of despair. The Republican primaries had revealed an insidious war on women's health, sanity, reproductive rights, and sexual freedom. An attack on any one of these areas would be cause for alarm, but a coordinated, concentrated, flat-out assault was terrifying. Across the country, Republican-controlled state legislatures passed measures requiring stringent new restrictions on abortion rights. Republican presidential candidates attacked Planned Parenthood, contraception, and women's sexual freedom. And just when we thought it couldn't get any worse, here came Rush Limbaugh. And I quote, "What does it say about the college student who goes before a congressional committee and essentially says she must be paid to have sex? What does that make her? It makes her a slut, right? It makes her a prostitute." End quote. A slut? Really? For people who still use words like slut, the behaviors that result in such branding have remained fairly constant throughout my girlhood and up until this day, stubbornly refusing to admit to such historic change agents as the pill, the 60s, and the sexual revolution. I repeat it here for those of you who might have forgotten the basics. You are a slut if you, 1, have sex with men other than your steady boyfriend, fiancé, husband, or significant other. 2, have sex strictly for pleasure. 3, have sex with someone on the first date. 4, have sex with people who are committed to others. 5, have sex with more than one man on the same day. 6, have sex with more than one person at the same time. 7, have sex with more than 10 men from the time you become sexually active until the time you mate for life or become celibate. 8, have sex with people watching. 9, watch people have sex. 10, have sex for money or as an acknowledged trade-off for expensive gifts, backstage passes, and front row seats. Breaking one of the rules was considered the first step on the road to ruin. Breaking 2 was considered a clear indicator of bad character. Breaking 3 showed a lack of judgment and poor discipline, and 4 down indicated an almost irreversible slide into the pit. Breaking 5 or more of the rules was all the evidence necessary to designate someone a practicing slut, with no place in the rigidly righteous sisterhood of good girls and monogamous women. But that was then. And this is now, 2012 America, and we've come too far to turn back. We've worked too hard to gain access to safe and legal birth control, to guarantee our right to choose when and whether to have children, to embrace our full sexual selves. We've come too far to be bullied into silence or shame or guilt by reactionary people, most of whom don't even have vaginas. How can we go back? How can we allow a panel of men to be the only expert witnesses on women's sexual health? And what are we to make of the role of celibate men in these deliberations? Celibate men. Men who have taken a vow not to engage in sex with women and are now opining about the appropriateness of invasive vaginal probes. Angry, celibate men who have no direct experience with the tender and mysterious beauty of any vagina at all. Men who have never encountered a clitoris or caressed a labia or felt the shuddering surrender of a female orgasm, but there they sat, along with their equally angry, sexually active brothers, pontificating about women's bodies and women's sexuality and women's pleasure with a smirk and a scolding tone that implies the whole discussion is beneath them, except for comments so insulting and outrageous that they take our breath away. She's a slut, right? In my day, women just held an aspirin between their knees for birth control. If you play, you pay. We want to watch. We want to make you beg us for birth control, apologize for wanting to have sex for any reason other than procreation, and demand that you blame your desire for contraception on really bad acne or female troubles, which you will be required to describe in detail to any boss or politician who inquires.